André, good afternoon.
Hi.
Yeah, in March, Moody's announced their most recent assessment. And what was the assessment?
Well, the technical term is Baa3, which means just above the level known as jump bond status. Of course, the big concern was that they might have given us jump bond status as Standard & Poor's and Fitch did last year. But not entirely unexpected, they didn't give us a jump bond status, but it still came as a huge relief. If the third big credit rating agency, Moody's, had given us a jump bond status, then it would be difficult to find any reason to smile at each other right now. It would have been terrible news. And I think in many ways, it's telling us that since last year, since last November, in many ways, the economy of the country and the mood and even the politics have improved to some extent. And by the way, although they didn't give us upgrading, in a certain sense they did by changing their description from Baa3 negative outlook to Baa3 stable outlook. It's a slight improvement. I think it's indicating, as I was saying, that in some respects the macroeconomic environment is slightly better than 6 months ago, and of course the political environment. So we saw another unexpected surprise, economic growth for last year, 1.3%, as opposed to expectation of less than 1%. We saw in the recent budget clear indications of a plan to stabilize things, which Moody's obviously took note of. We see that the exchange rate is performing remarkably well. So I think, and against a background of political change, political leadership, a new intent, a new mood, I think they were quite justified in not giving us that potential jump on status. I think, however, very importantly, we should not become complacent. This has been a reprieve, as it were. There are still many issues that need to be resolved before they or anybody else would seriously consider upgrading us again. And they make us aware of these things. We are reminded of the still uncertain story regarding state-owned enterprises. And of course, a fairly new issue, the whole land reform, land redistribution debate. We see it happening, we see events in Hermanus right now, which look rather awful. The practice of fiscal discipline has still got to be proven. Economic growth, and it perhaps just goes to show how things have changed. We are excited about a 1.3% growth rate. We should be awfully disappointed. But given the fact that we're expecting worse, I suppose this is a bit better. Unemployment, we know, remains extremely high. Poverty is still there, service delivery. So I think it's a timely reminder on the one hand that things are a bit better than a year ago, but at the same time, we should not become complacent. The challenge is to now build upon these small successes and bring about an overall macroeconomic, political, socio-political environment that is more conducive to attracting foreign investment.
Of course, definitely. I agree. The so what question, where do we go on the medium and longer term? What's that so what if somebody says, well, okay, Moody did this now, so
I think the so what is in the very short term. Thank goodness we didn't get it. We are still part of the World Bond Index, which is a good thing to be able to say. The so what means we probably will not see a massive outflow of foreign capital, which was a possibility. The so what is that all other things being equal, the exchange rate should remain fairly stable. But perhaps the more important so what, as I hinted at a bit earlier, is it's now time to really start getting down to sorting out the economy, reforming the economy, structural reform, establishing a new mood of optimism, and establishing, of course, that very important, or not establishing, reinforcing, restoring the institutional integrity of institutions and the competence and the credibility of institutions, because these things are still lurking in the background. They could still result in a sudden outflow of short-term portfolio capital. Things like, as mentioned a bit earlier, the corruption, the state-owned enterprises, the uncertainty there, the service delivery protests. They are still there. They haven't gone away. Just because Moody's has given us a slight reprieve, those things are still there. We need to pay attention to that. And the so what means that it needs to be a partnership. Government has an important role to play, obviously. So does business. They need to act in harmony with one another, as well as civil society. Cropping up pretty soon will be an announcement regarding interest rates by the Reserve Bank. The evidence is there that we could see a drop in interest rates, but at the same time, the Reserve Bank is one of the bastions of discipline and stability, and one would not like to see a reckless drop in interest rates. So the so what means that because of past problems, legacies, we are still not going to see a booming economy in the next few months or years for that matter. But compared to a year ago, I think we are in a slightly better position.
And let's take that. Every small win we take.
Yep.
Thanks for the chat.
Pleasure.